What's going on, guys? We're back at it again. So, this is my new favorite channel, man. This channel is called American Fire with Ace. I love this channel. It's pretty good. But I wanted to go over this video of his. It's called The Bell and the Beekeeper. Donald Trump uses King Charles to send the world a message. I don't know what the Bell and the Beekeeper part is, but I'm assuming in this video he's going over the whole King Charles visiting the White House. Dude, that stuff is crazy, bro. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me like you go into a retail store and you got an issue and you're angry and they're like, okay, hang on, let me go get my manager. Like, bro, King Charles, dude, that's nuts, man. I don't know. They say it's been, I don't know, forever since he's visited the White House. It's crazy, man. And normally when you see like royalty, they're treated like crazy, man. They put on these shows and they're just so much honor. And from what I've seen, and again, we'll dive into it, but it has not been that. I mean, he's been very humble with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump hasn't been like messing with him and shit. But I see the memes and stuff, and it's coming from the White House, dude. Like,
it was like him, and in the paint, it was like red fire. But then if
they're kind of trolling him a little bit.
What was it? I think if you zoomed into it,
and I'm just like, man, that's nuts. And I don't even really know that much about King Charles.
It like had like a demon in the back or some shit like that. It was weird, bro.
He's connected to a lot of weird satanic cultic shit, bro. Like the thing, he was the one that had. I don't know if you guys remember. But he was the guy with the painting where it was like him and in the paint, it was like red fire. But then if you like, what was it? I think if you zoomed into it, I didn't even see that.
It had like a demon in the back.
This is from the White House,
it was
bro.
weird, bro. Anyways,
but let's get into it.
Oh, goodness. It almost looked like a little bit of a humiliation ritual because while Trump was being very nice to Charles in his face, and Charles is, the pomp and circumstance, and they're at the dinner tonight, and he went and spoke to the Congress, said some iffy things, but Trump continued to be very, very nice to him, and how he addressed it, never called him out. But meanwhile, on social media, we get stuff like this, whereas this morning, the British are coming. Well, you could say that's just a funny, of course the Brits are here. But anybody who knows history knows this is a callback to Paul Revere alerting America to the enemy being here. and prepare yourselves, be ready, keep your eyes open. So it's funny, but I also think knowing how they run the social media, knowing how they are always putting comms out there, I just think there's more to it. And one of the reasons is this stuff was happening all day. White House.
What the fuck? I don't know, man. The whole British is coming thing, maybe there's something behind it, but I don't know. I just think they were making a joke, dude. I think they were just kind of being little assholes and just talking shit, I don't think they're like, the enemy's here. Maybe.
Again, the open eyes, shock and awe from Trump's post about how he's the 15th cousin of King Charles. And he says, wow, that's nice. I've always wanted.
Real? I did not know that. He's the 15th cousin of King Charles, bro.
To live in Buckingham Palace. I'll talk to the king and queen about this in a few minutes. Now, again, this is Trump equating himself to royalty. You could look at this as Trump being either just quirky funny, or, as Trump so often does, putting himself in the place of power over someone else.
He was like, oh, maybe I should take the crown for a little bit. What do you think? No, okay, all right, yeah, it was just a joke then. The fuck, this dude.
Maybe it's my turn to go to assume the throne, especially when you get a post like this.
Two kings
next to each other. Now this got to make the left go crazy. the No Kings rallies. But again,
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
there's everywhere
The No Kings
else
rally, that's
where
crazy.
Charles goes. And this has been going on for centuries. But everywhere else the British monarchy goes, they're treated with an air of speciality, an air of awe. The king is here. It's almost like even though we have our own system, we still act as if that means something to us, other than the fact he's just another dignitary from, there's a special reverence. But
Well, I mean, how many presidents and dictators are there out there? There's not a lot of kings. Like, I get it. It's crazy. And, I mean, the King of England, like, dude, like, you kidding me? Like, that's, like, when you think of king, you think of royalty, you think of England. You don't, I understand they got in Saudi Arabia and Middle Eastern, like, okay, or, whatever. But, like, this is when you think of royalty. This is the family you think of, bro. You don't. I mean, maybe you do think of the Middle East too, obviously, but yeah, like it's. I get it. Like, I mean, it's pretty crazy, So
that's not what it all is happening here. This is just nonstop. It's a mockery. It's saying like we're on the same footing as you. We're not going to treat you differently, and that's not what's happened in the past. So it's important to note this. It's small stuff. It's funny, but I guarantee you there's more to it, especially when Trump does this.
Oh, my goodness.
Has
dude.
the king...
Oh, my God. I seen this, bro. Now, they say that, like, Donald Trump is trolling and talking shit. Most of it, I think, is good-hearted, but when I saw this, I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy, bro. Oh, my God. Oh...
Walking amongst our Revolutionary Guard soldiers.
They got the white wigs on and everything, dude.
Those are not redcoats, folks.
I got the red coats in the back, though.
I mean,
the red coats in the back.
how
See, all the way
hilarious
back there.
is that? Trump just constantly reminding him of our 250th anniversary of freedom from them. That is hilarious. And way over the top that Charles had to go through all of that. And then we get this stuff, which is just wild. So the Trump and Melania, they put together this station with the king, and it involved bees and honey. And a bee landed on Trump, and instead of just freaking out, flicking it away, or stinging him, he just held it in his hands, and you can see he's amused while the others are freaked out. What an odd thing to happen. Obviously, Trump and them couldn't have staged this. This is a bee that landed on him. You can.
What do you mean, bro? They could have easily staged that shit with AI. All you gotta do is just have him stick his fucking hand out and just put a fake bee there. Like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But I don't get, what is the significance with the bees? Like, I don't understand.
Watch the video.
He's got a weird
But the
face,
fact
too.
that this all
That
happens
face
is so strange. And then the White House
Again, with the bees, bro.
puts up a poster as Donald J. Trump as the beekeeper, which was a Jason Statham movie from a few years.
Beekeeper. Restore order, protect the nation. Yeah, I don't
Back.
get with the beekeeper, with the bee.
And the beekeeper was all about fraud in the markets and politics and all this other stuff. And I never saw the full movie. I only saw parts of it, but I know what it was about. And everybody in the community was very excited when it came out, and about, like, it's an exposure type movie. And then you have Trump as the beekeeper. These are wild little comms things if you're paying attention. Most people aren't, or most people would have just laughed. But there's a lot going on in all these posts. A lot of symbolism, especially considering the king is here. Just light.
So he's making all these memes and shit because of a movie? Oh, okay, I guess.
it up like this. This is very interesting stuff, and this is where this is where you're allowed to put on your conspiracy hats, because this is I gotta say, this is pretty clearly comms. By the way, do they not have like the smartest social media team? It's just crazy how quick they are.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty badass picture. I'm not gonna lie. Though with the bees and stuff, obviously that's not, but that was a pretty good picture.
So somebody posted this.
So yeah, like they're doing all this because of a movie. I mean, that's obviously, and again, what did I say about King Charles, bro? He's connected to all this weird ass like 33-degree masonry and like satanic shit, bro. That's obviously, I mean, I'm sure most people understand or know that that's a masonry sign. That's a 33-degree mason. Obviously, but they got the B in the middle, which, again, I don't know what the significance of the B is. I guess it's from a movie that came out a couple years ago.
And focus on B's as Trump's telling us they're captured or captive now. B in the middle of the Freemasonry sign. See, Freemasonry. One of the most prominent modern uses, the beehive is an emblem of industry in the Master Mason degree, teaching that Masons, like bees, should work diligently for the betterment of the lodge and society without contention. It draws from ancient roots, including Egyptian ideas of an obedient people under a ruler. Originally seen as a king, now understood as a queen bee. Some interpretations link it to the lodge itself as a hive of builders or alchemical laboratory for spiritual transmutation. That's actually from Freemason.com.
Okay, that makes more sense than it just coming off of some movie that was released a couple years ago. Okay, that is crazy, and that's a little creepy. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Again, man, with King Charles, and obviously, like, Donald Trump is playing into it, too. But with this King Charles dude, man, it's always some weird satanic shit with this guy.
Interesting. Obviously, Freemasonry. Freemasons are an extension, a club, a deep state club attached to all this, where not everybody who's ever been a Mason is deep state. That's insane. Most of them barely ever move up. Most of them just treat it as like a Rotary Club. But there are plenty enough who go deeper and into these things. I've met these people. They're very...
Yeah, honestly, like, you would be surprised. You probably live close to not close, but you would probably live within an hour or two of a Freemasonry lodge. Like, they're out there more than you think. But a lot of it is honestly just old dudes who are just fucking hanging out, bro. Just bored, wanna be part of some club, But yeah, there are people who do get into it, and it's not anything cute to them. It's real, and they believe in it,
Interesting people. Some of them are nth degree Masons, way up there, and that's where it starts getting strange. But again, it is weird because there's a lot of ties, Freemasonry and City of London, UK. So now you get here. I mean, it's weird. And sometimes people are doing the communication and sometimes God's speaking. And that's one of those issues where it's like a bee landing on Trump.
Bro, is he trying to say that God put the bee in Trump's hand? Come on, bro. I mean, all right, whatever. We can go with that, I guess. But I'm like, that would be so easy to fake. You have King Charles and Melania, and then Donald Trump was like, with the weird fucking dude. That is a weird face, bro. I don't know what face that is, but he's just holding out his hand, and you just with AI, come on, dude. That's so easy. Put the bee in his hand. So I don't know. It's wild. I don't think it's God doing that, but okay.
Was that God giving us a sign? I don't know, but it's worth paying attention to. Now, Trump, after this is Trump tonight after the speech that the king gave at Congress, which I'll play a couple of clips here in a minute. But Trump, this is funny. Listen to what Trump had to say about the speech.
I want to congratulate Charles on having made a fantastic speech today at Congress. he got the Democrats to say it. I've never been able to do that. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They liked him more than they've ever liked any Republican or Democrat, actually. So I just want to thank you and congratulations.
You know, that's kind of a shot. That's Trump comparing him to his enemies. That my enemies love you more than anybody else. Isn't that, you know, if you pick up on that?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, he's got a point. Maybe he's onto something. I didn't read that deep into it when I saw that clip. I just took it because King Charles, like the world, have always kind of leaned more towards the left, anyways. So I think it's royalty. I think even the most left-leaning Democrat is not going to disrespect royalty. Like, I don't think they have that much balls to do that. You know, so I think everybody was excited. The king was there. It's kind of crazy. This is a little bit surreal. Like, he is a king, like a legit king, you know. And he leans more left. So why would they not be kind of stoked that he's there? So I don't know. I didn't really read that much into it, but maybe he's onto something.
That's exactly how I read it when Trump said it, but it was also hilarious the way Trump brings it down as always. But here you see, like, look at their faces as they're watching Charles. This is just goofy how much they are just adoring this man.
Is that fucking dude crying?
This is, you know, I've never
right
seen Democrats so happy, except for maybe when they're like killing a baby or something. Yeah, like this is about as happy as Democrats get, and all in a speech that really didn't have that much to it, except for asking for Ukraine and taking shots at Trump with the separation of powers. And I gotta say, it kind of read to me as like the last hurrah for the king, his last attempt at being desperate and being like, I wish you guys would help us, but we know you're not going to. But here, we'll listen for a sec.
The founding fathers were bold and imaginative rebels with a cause.
I will say about King Charles, I know he's a fucking weirdo with the satanic stuff and whatever. He's got one of the coolest English accents I've ever heard. I'm not joking, dude. He's got a badass accent.
250 years ago, or as we say in the United Kingdom, just the other day, they declared independence. By balancing contending forces and drawing strength into diversity, they united 13 disparate colonies to forge a nation on the revolutionary idea of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Sorry, guys, I got a tin roof and it's raining right now. Hopefully that's not too loud. You guys aren't picking that up too much, but
they carried with them and carried forward the great inheritance of the British Enlightenment, as well as the ideals which had an even deeper history in English common law and Magna Carta.
I guarantee you that was a Democrat.
These roots run deep, and they are still vital. Our Declaration of Rights of 1689 was not only the foundation of our constitutional monarchy, but also provided the source of so many of the principles reiterated, often verbatim, in the American Bill of Rights of 1791.
Anyways, he goes on and on. It's all of basically an idea of like, hey, don't forget the U.S. is our child. It's kind of the idea. But he went on to beg for money for Ukraine. The Democrats, and this is hilarious, it's going around because they were all no kings, and now they're cheering for the king.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege.
That is kind of funny, a little bit, you know. No king protest, and then they're giving a standing ovation to a legit king. But I mean, again, whatever. I mean, like, it's King Charles, you know. Like,
It's fine. It is
Distinct
kinda funny.
honor of presenting to you His Majesty Charles III.
The Democrats leapt to their feet. You see that? The
It's
Republicans
fine.
a little slower to move there, but it's hilarious, just the hypocrisy. But this is why Trump allows this stuff. He allows it so you can see it, so you can see the hypocrisy. I believe that this whole trip is kind of like a humiliation ritual. Charles is still, obviously playing the role where he's got to ask for that Ukraine money. He's got to talk about the greatness of Britain. And, because he can't just be public like we're done, we've given in. But at the end, tonight, he did this. And this is why I think that the submission might be complete. So this is the end where he gives Trump a gift. Watch this.
And speaking of submarine alliances,
This was tonight's
there
dinner.
was one particular AUKUS predecessor launched from a UK shipyard in 1944 that served for the majority of her life attached to the 4th Submarine Squadron in Australia, playing a critical role during the war in the Pacific. Her name? HMS Trump. So tonight, Mr. President,
No
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, it's raining pretty hard. I don't know if that's going to be picked up pretty good on the video, 'cause I got the stupid tin roof. But it is what it is, guys. I'll let y'all guys finish the video if you want. Subscribe to my boy, man. I love his channel. He's, he comes with facts. Obviously, he leans a little bit more right, but it's good. I'm here for it, man. It's good quality stuff. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.